talking.
Yeah, I was having trouble with my microphone today, and or just my whole board, and I was looking at it and looked down, and I was, man, what is going on? I can't hear myself, or I can't hear the microphone or anything like that. So I literally just started looking at all the knobs and everything. I'm like, oh my goodness, my son was in here. So
Uh,
You got to be able to say. You got to be able to save a
all bets are
sentence.
off. All bets are off. That's hilarious. You're like, oh damn.
dude,
You're like,
I unplugged it. I unplugged the microphone. I unplugged everything, and then I do have the scene saved, so at least I do have that to be able to recall, right? But I still couldn't hear myself. So then I looked at the gain knob on the microphone, and it was all the way on 0. And I'm like, my goodness, what's going on
oh,
here?
Okay.
so
Hello,
obviously,
everyone.
obviously, there's
Welcome
one.
to episode 38 of the Home Theater Hub. We're glad you are joining us tonight. I know we just carried through with the conversation from the backstage, but I had to step in just so Don doesn't keep talking till 9 o'clock. And then we start the show. So,
Welcome, everyone. Hey, we got Fred in the chat already.
yeah, we got
Siphonics Audio.
Siphonics. I just got done watching your live stream, Siphonics.
Got
How's it
got
going?
Richard
Thanks
in
for
the house
joining
too.
us.
Thank you everyone for joining us. And if you guys don't recognize, we also got Chris on the show. Chris
Yep.
from my home theater, coming back again. Appreciate you coming back, Chris. How are you
Yes,
doing
sir.
today?
Man, I'm doing good, man. We survived the hurricane or tropical storm or whatever you want to call it. Just a bunch of rain.
So we got it in Florida. Luckily, I'm in South Florida, so I didn't get a whole lot of it. I just got some bands and stuff like that. So you actually got a second dose of it, right? Because it crossed, it came across Florida, and then it came back into South Carolina, right? So
Yeah.
you got the
Yeah.
second dose of it.
And the eye of the storm came right over us. So if we would have been on either side, I think it would have been worse. But being that
Yeah.
we were kind of hit head on, I mean, it wasn't very powerful anyway, but
Right.
just a bunch of rain, and there've been a few trees down here and there, but we survived.
Family's good. Everybody made it through okay.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Everybody's good.
Good to hear. Yeah. I reached out to a couple people. I reached out to Michael, Youth Man. I reached out to Casey, who we were supposed to have on the show today. Unfortunately, he had a little nothing major, but he did have a little bit of damage to his theater, not to his theater, to his home. But yeah, so unfortunately, we decided to go ahead and cancel. When I spoke to him the other day, he said the power was still spotty. The electricity was on and off and stuff like that. So, but look forward to getting him rescheduled because he's got a fantastic theater. And Chris here, he's always got an invite, so he can come whenever he wants to join. He's more than welcome. So, and Paul, we've been trying to kick him off the show for 38 episodes now, but
Yeah, you gotta deal with the naysayers.
Hey, speak for yourself, Don. I'm not trying to kick him off, man. Hey, quickly, Michael, thanks for joining us. He says long time watcher, first time live. Thanks for finally being able to catch us live after
yeah, absolutely.
38 episodes. You've been trying well, so thank you.
No, just joking about Paul. We Paul and I always like to.
Oh yeah, we get
go back.
that's
We like
our
to
relation.
banter back and forth.
That's our bromance, We're like F you, yeah, F you. Well, double F you.
just buy Paul the what was it called, the prime rib at the barbecue place, and he'll be nice to you. So
Yeah, that does change my demeanor, mostly because I'm in a meat coma. After that, I'm like,
we'll leave that to yourself. We'll leave that meat
Yeah.
going to yourself.
Yep.
oh man.
So yeah, well, welcome everyone again. So Chris, what you got going on over there on that channel of yours, If
Oh
you guys
man.
if you guys aren't subscribe to Chris's channel. I'm going to pull it up here. Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to Chris's channel. It's called My Home Theater.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and share that here.
Let me do
Yeah,
that
it seemed like
quickly.
I always try to keep something going on, but I work so much. It's hard to keep it steady. I mean, there may be weeks I can get some videos out or get some content out, and then it's for a week I don't get but like one video out or short out. I've been doing a lot of shorts lately. And
Bro, I wish I could put as much content as you put out, man. 'Cause I look at you and I'm like, he put another video out that I'm still 1 month behind. So I'm not even worried about. I would be worried if I had your pace. You're doing great out there, bro.
Yeah,
But,
looks like you're up to about 3,000.
yeah,
Well,
I've got
3,000
about
subscribers.
20 or 30 subscribers seem like this week, which was pretty interesting. And it's sporadic like that. It'll go 3 or 4 days and you'll lose a subscriber and gain one and lose two. And then all of a sudden I wake up next morning and I got 10 more. So it's weird how it happens.
I love your approach to your videos too, because this is, you just sit down, you talk, you shoot your thoughts. It's not, yeah, I'm sure you do have some script that you
No
kind of put like
script.
an outline together or something like that. You know what I mean? But and I like the fact you're like, let me just turn this camera around and show you, right?
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I like that approach.
I've talked to Michael, I've talked to Tech Enthusiasm, I've talked to a bunch of guys, and there's nothing wrong with doing scripts. I think it's a good idea to do a script because when I get done my videos and I proof them, I'm like, well, I forgot to say this or I forgot to say that. So it is good to do that. I just shoot from the hip. I just kind of sit down and while I'm at work, I'm thinking about what I want to say in my video. So when I get home, I just hit the camera and go. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Looks like you got the getting some pretty good views on the Panasonic.
Yeah.
UV. So you got 2,800 views in 7 days and 2,000 views on the from 5 days ago. So looks like you got a good little videos there. I haven't checked these two out yet. You see that? Well, I may have started this one. I'm not sure, but I didn't check the first one out. But you'll see here, me scrolling down. I try to catch a lot of your videos. You'll see the red bar here that I'm catching them and watching them and stuff like that. So always been a big fan of your videos. I love your construction videos too. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, the Panasonic videos, it's one of the most popular players out there, I think, for the price. And it seems to get a lot of views. I think the unboxing of the UB9000, and then I did a video on it. I mean, those are pushing over 10,000 views, which is high for me because mine normally averages around 1,000, 1,500. So even the 2,800 to 3,000 is on the high side for me.
Yeah,
which
but
I like.
the honest truth is majority of people still use Blu-ray players, right?
Yeah.
No matter how we might try to twist it or paint it, a lot of people are still very comfortable with buying a disc, walking up to the rack and putting that thing in the player and going back to their seat and watching it. So, and there's not a lot of, I guess, maybe in my own YouTube space, right? I don't see a lot of videos on Blu-ray players. So I think people are interested in it. People still want to know that it's out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I've had all that going on, and I guess it's probably been 6 weeks now. Deep Sea Sound, David Gage came and brought me the Mariana 18-inch subs. Says 2 months ago, so I reckon it's been close to 8 weeks now. Yeah. But they are phenomenal subs. I can't stress that enough. I mean, the fabrication of the box, to me, I don't see it being matched on the market the way they put those. And y'all guys seen them in M-Wave. Mm-hmm. Those boxes are phenomenal, and they're sealed boxes. And you got the HST 18, the newest stereo integrity carbon fiber sub, and you got the same amplifier what's it called, power. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's
Power
the same
sound?
one. Power something. Yeah, maybe it's the same one that JTR uses. And I don't know if you could compare these subs to anything close to it on the market for a sealed 18 with a 4,000 watt amp. I don't see it. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's the one. He actually brought that to my house, and I took pictures and video of that same sub right there. It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they use the stereo integrity drivers, right?
Yes,
But-
stereo integrity is HST8. Now I want to get that aluminum sub here.
I
I don't know if I can get that here. I don't know if I'll get one here. I don't know if I'll get one here.
That thing weighs infinity, man.
Yes,
It is not a lightweight.
but the sub boxes, he's using that Baltic birch.
Baltic birch. Yeah.
Yeah, Baltic birch. And then if you get on their website, you can get tremendous amount of finishes, anything that you want. I mean, I'm just, hey, put some Duratex on, I'm happy. But if you got these out in your living room, you want them to look like what's on the screen right there. You want that beautiful finish, or something that will match your speakers, whether it be gloss black, piano black, or whatever kind of finishes that that are matched.
I like how this driver sits back in, right? So it gives,
got it recessed.
So it even if the the cone skirts, I don't know. You can tell us, what does the cone skirt past that recess?
I don't think it does. I did some tests, a lot of frequency sweeps. I did the the opening scene for Edge of Tomorrow. I don't know if it comes out that far or not. I haven't pushed it. It don't belong to me. So I mean,
that looks like
overdrive it.
That looks like maybe a 2-inch recess, maybe, or an inch and a half.
It might be deeper than that. I hadn't measured it, but
that would be a lot of excursion if it went past that. So I do like the fact that it's kind of protecting the driver right there.
Yeah.
The only question, I mean, I don't know if it would have any effect with the dispersion or not, with it being recessed like that. I don't think so for that little bit of space, but so you went from what did you previously have in your?
I had the Chase Audio Dual 18s. I had 2 of those, which is give me 4 18s, and I put those in my living room now. And I've got 2 of the Mariana 18s now. He texted me the other day, so the 24s are coming. Just don't know when he's going to bring them. I mean, he's like 5.5 hours away from me. So, wow. You talking about a 10, 11 hour round trip. And I mean, y'all met him. I mean, he's a great guy, man.
Great guy.
And he's very knowledgeable. He is very knowledgeable.
But for him to bring both of the guys are great, Jeff. And
I've talked with Jeff on the phone. I haven't met him. I think the plan is, I think Jeff wanted to come the first time, and I think he had a death in the family. So he may end up coming this time, which I hope so. Because I mean, I've talked to Jeff on the phone. He's a cool guy too. I like him.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff's great. I've spoken to him a couple times also since M-Wave. He was supposed to be on the show last week, but unfortunately, he had a storm came through and the power cut out literally like but he was in the green room
before we went live,
and the power cut out before. So, and then unfortunately he had some family stuff going on this week. So I'm not going to jinx anything. I'm just going to say that he's supposed to be coming on the show again very shortly. Because every time that I mention something,
if you want to do a theater tour, say no.
And they just show up.
Hurricane, earthquake, power outages, flooding.
So Frankie says. Jeff Robinson rocks the Triad speakers. Yeah, I do remember him telling me.
Yes,
he's got the Triads. I think he's got golds.
Now, Frank, don't let Frankie kid now. That old boy's got a nice system. I've been to his house. He's been to my house. I'm telling you, Frankie's got a first class home theater now. I've never heard, and at most, immersion effect that I've been in until I went to his theater. It's amazing.
Hey,
Well,
Frankie,
Frankie's got to get on the show, right?
Hey,
We got to get
Frankie.
him to.
Thanks for rocking the Home Theater Hub T-shirt
Yeah,
and
just
all the
don't tell
advice,
anyone.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you for rocking the shirt, man.
Oh, that's nice. He
Hey,
says
I think there was a question on the Panasonic. Does it do 3D? I believe it does, right? The
Yes,
820
it
does
does.
3D. Yeah.
I've played in the theater on the UB9000, and the 820 does 3D also.
Yeah, the 820 does 3D. Yep.
I think it does everything.
It does everything.
Except-
the only thing it does not do is play. What's that format of 2-channel music that a lot of people like? SACD.
Super audio.
SACD.
Super audio CD.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it does not play SACD.
Really?
Yeah, no, it doesn't do that. Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
yeah,
And it
Yeah,
doesn't do
that thing is a
ISO.
Swiss Army knife, man. When it comes,
yeah.
to
It won't
playing.
stream ISO either. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think that should be
Does
expected.
it
right?
does it do BDMV though? It doesn't. Does it?
No.
Does it play BDMV?
No.
Okay, it doesn't do BDMV or ISO.
the only
Okay.
the only player that I know that does everything is that what is that called, the one that came from R-Voution, or that also has the Metatar or Metar.
Magnetar.
Yeah,
Magnetar.
that one does everything. It'll
I
actually.
really want that one, man, but
It's about $1,500,
I'm
isn't
not
it?
paying for it.
Pretty
bro.
high.
I'm not
Yeah.
paying for it. Yeah, I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not doing
I
that.
mean, yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's up, Big Jack? Thanks for joining us. CB, thanks for joining us.
Chuck in the house. What's
Frankie.
going on, Chuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you got the Marianas in, which go back if you guys haven't seen our show with Deep Sea Sound. Go back a couple episodes. We actually had them on as a guest. Both Jeff and David were on here, and they actually were holding their eyes up with toothpicks, but they made it all the way through the show.
Yeah. I mean, those you can't say it enough. Those guys, they have a business, but they're not trying to bullshit, lie. They're still support the DIY community. They're just like, hey, we're doing all the labor, we're doing all the math, we're doing all the science for you, and that we want to make money doing that for you because we enjoy that, and they sell it. Right? They're not like, oh no, you did all that on your own. Oh, well, that's not near as good as ours. No, they're just like, oh damn, okay, because they truly understand. Yeah. If you made an aluminum woofer cabinet, they would know. Holy crap! Yeah, we know how long that took. We know
Right.
what equipment you used to make that actually happen. So.
That price tag of 17,000 told me that
Yep.
there was a lot of sanding going on in that thing. Sanding and welding,
Yep.
grinding.
Yeah,
That was
probably
a lot of work.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I can't even imagine the welder.
Rounding that like that, man. I mean, that thing is a work of art. Let me see if I can pull that picture back.
It is. I literally, when I first saw that, I was like, wow. I was like,
you got to pay the full amount for that before they make one, man.
Yeah, you're until they put the mass production.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty.
Share that screen.
Impressive.
Okay, let me pull that up.
Yeah, I mean, that thing is just seeing it in person. To see that kind of metal workmanship it was just unbelievable. For somebody, I'm not a Chuck, right? I can't build cabinets and all that stuff like that, but I enjoy working with my hands and doing a lot of stuff myself. Just not drywall, Fred. But
Man, you're taking my punchline.
yeah, that's why I did it, right?
Right.
But yeah, no, yeah, I mean, the craftsmanship that went into this, it's just, I mean, unbelievable. The amount of work that was
I
put
just
into
noticed
this.
the two tones, right? You can see. I don't know if it's the camera, if it's the actor
I think that's
design.
it might be a reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically. don't even know that you really see that. You could do some lighting to be able to see that, but in person you don't really see that. So as far as the stripes on it, you don't really see that.
Well, I guess you kind of do. On their website, it shows it too.
Oh, so
Well, they
it's not
probably
the
have a
lighting,
flash
it's the
camera.
design.
I would imagine they do a flash on there.
Yeah.
No, but it seems to
Yeah,
line up.
you can kind of
It
you can
seems to line
see.
up with the
Yeah.
internal design,
Yeah,
though.
Yeah.
they might all be separate pieces that they
Yeah.
cast.
They are. That's how
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
That's how they were able to do that. That's what they did. You can see each one of those. They aluminum welded each one of those. That's what they
That
were.
price, though. Wow.
Yeah.
If I were updating the website, I'd be scared to put that price there, man. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, can we
I'd
take
be
this
like,
back upstairs? Is this really?
Just I would do it like they do in the restaurant. It's market price.
I know, right? Call
Oh
and get the price.
yeah. Oh
You
my
gotta call
god.
to get
Yeah.
the price, man.
Market price.
I love that.
You
Yeah, I
want a
was just at
12-ounce
a
lobster
restaurant
tail?
yesterday
I'm going to charge
where,
you whatever I want for it.
like 4 of the items were like, what does market price really mean? Does that mean I want to know? Okay, well, show me what
Market price is supply and demand, right? If I got one lobster tail
exactly.
left,
I'm like, does that mean?
and I want to sell that, I'm going to sell it for a lot more than I would if I had 10 of them.
I'm gonna go in with just the rattiest clothes and be like, "Oh, can I get that? What's the price today?" Then maybe they'll give me the lowest price. It's like, oh, McDonald's price. But if I go in there looking all dapper, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, that fish of the day is like $900."
Yeah, Don,
Like,
can
what?
you search for this? Because Siphonics is saying that there's another subwoofer. Is it Magico, whatever?
Yeah,
But anyways, my point. Deep Sea Sound and all the people that I've come across and talked to, those guys are legit, honest. I mean, the real deal. As if you were starting the company yourself. You know, they haven't figured out the corporate greed thing yet. So you know. So all those people are they're really good guys.
Yeah. So Magico's a high end brand that I remember, but I don't know. I have to see if I can find the aluminum one here. Let's see. That's the Titan products. M series, Titan series. I'll have to click on that. They're beautiful speakers. I know that. Share this tab. Look at those. Goodness.
Wow.
Oh yeah, wow.
Man.
Those are beautiful. Yeah, I remember seeing these. I remember seeing these in Florida Audio Expo. They're super high end. Those speakers there. Let's go to the S series. Maybe they're in the S series. No. Oh, look at those. Those are cool. Got my attention now. Let's see, A series.
Definitely don't have my attention.
Joseph's over there yelling at me, find the damn thing.
I know, right?
Let's see, Titan. I guess the Titan. So it's a dual opposed push pull. Doesn't say that it's a. I don't know that it's saying that it's actually aluminum or not. I don't think Joseph can shoot a link in the chat. A lot of times, YouTube doesn't allow guests to shoot a link.
Just remove the HTTP and the .com.
Yeah.
Put a space in between it.
Yeah, Siphonics. Put the link if you got it. Just remove the HTTP and I'll add it. And we can.
Yeah, the HTTP // and the .com. And
Well, those speakers are beautiful though.
Yeah, is that the interior of the song?
Yeah, Yeah, that
Yeah,
was the. Let me go back to that.
Oh, it's a
scroll down. It described the enclosure.
12-15s. It looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That is a long subwoofer, a deep subwoofer. It's almost like a monolith.
There's the
Design.
enclosure. Are they saying it's aluminum up there? Surely under the enclosure, right there. Enclosure.
thick aluminum sealed enclosure. Yeah, so I had the right one.
I was like, it's right there.
What does it weigh? That's what I'm curious.
Now, how much does that one cost?
Good question. Let's see.
Because that's
Magico.
very, that's a painted or anodized. It looks like anodized.
32,000.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So, you know.
So we're getting a bargain from Deep Sea Sound.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I guess they're charging an extra, whatever that is, you know, $14,000 or $13,000 for the anodized outside. That's
AV Luxury Group. 32,000. Hey,
Bobby says we need inside pictures for the new Arundels.
The delivery is
I can't
free.
wait to see those new speakers, man. The way they're hyping that thing up quietly.
I would hope if I spent 32,000, that the delivery would be free.
Yeah.
It better be free.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like,
There's enough overhead in that. Be like $1,000 delivery. Yeah, you can afford that. And,
it probably comes in a crate.
yeah,
So.
yeah. I'm sure it probably costs $1,000 to ship something.
I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, you know, it's definitely an expensive subwoofer there.
Way out of my league.
So you're ordering 2 of them, right?
I got 2 of them already on back order.
Just so you can compare them to the cheaper deep sea sounds. It's like, okay, that's your next video. We're doing a true comparison: $17,000 versus $32,000 aluminum enclosure subwoofers.
They both rattle and they both shake my walls. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, Chris. So give us your opinion. You know, on going from the Chase audio to the deep sound. You know, I know that you also added some DIY subs to the back of your room too, right? You got rid of
a while. Yeah, a while back I bought the Parts Express boxes, and I did what everybody told me not to do. Is I bought cheap Scar Audios and put in there, and guys, those things play good. I mean, I got somebody that just keeps saying, "Hey, you get rid of them stuff. You gonna get rid of them stuff?" No, I mean, I've got 2 18-inch subs for less than $500, really around $400, and that's hard to beat. Now, I would like to change them out at some point. My end game sub is the 2 Deep Sea Sound 24s in the front and 2 of the 18s like I have now in the back. And I don't know if my foundation can handle it.
Look, those stereo integrity drivers, man. I mean, I heard them at M-Wave both years in a row that I've been there. They don't play around. You know,
No.
they're definitely legit. And I think I was talking to you offline, Chris, that, you know, I'd like for Deep Sea to build me at 90 degrees, because I'm going to have 4 15s in the front, 4 15s in the back, and I was going to put 2 18s in the sides on right at 90 degrees, just to give me literally pure, I guess, base coverage everywhere, right? So, and that's what I was looking at. I was looking at those stereo integrity, the carbon fibers, and honestly, after I went to, who did I go? Sheldon's house. After I went to his house, he has 18 18s of the cheaper, and I hate to, I don't even like to use the word cheaper because they're great.
Affordable.
They're like
Affordable.
$300, $250, $300 or something like
You
that
talking
per
about
driver.
the regular 18-inch? I think they're
Yeah,
around
yeah,
200, around 200
yeah.
bucks.
And those things, man. I mean, goodness, I got all the bass I could handle in there. You know,
Every time I hear 18-18s, I think Scott Newby. That's what comes to my mind is 160 decibels in a
yeah.
theater. You know?
Oh, and he's still adding because he
Oh, I
just got
know.
the 215s. He just added the 215s into his. So now he's got two more 15s in each, the right and left. Or so yeah, man, I don't know. He's gonna have to be hiring, like, I don't know if you guys heard of. It's a company that I'm familiar with called Alpha Foundation. They they come in and they reinforce your foundation and pump concrete back up and all kind of stuff. He's gonna
Have
to
you
be
been
hiring
to
somebody
Scott's
like that.
house, Chris? Have you been there?
Who's Scott's?
Yeah.
No, I haven't been.
Okay.
I haven't been. I'm planning on going at some point. I mean, I
Mhm.
need to get out more. I don't go nowhere really. I didn't even go to Audio Vice Live this year. I mean, I was working and working 12 hours a day and sometimes 6-7 days a week, and I just stay home.
Hey,
Yeah.
Chris, Rich is asking, says, why didn't you, I guess, move the double 18s at the back of your theater instead of the Scott?
Room. I don't have the room.
No room out there, right?
They're like 40 inches tall, so I would have to lay them down, and basically it would block where I have to pull the rack in and out to put equipment in and change equipment out for review. But see, all that's fixing to change, so I've got a plan. We're never really done with our theater. So what some of y'all, I guess most of y'all do know, that Seatcraft sent me 2 more rows of chairs a few months back. They sent me
Nice.
basically like what I already had, except real leather. And guys, those are nice. I didn't think there would be that big of a difference, but they are. So my plan is to knock the wall out because I built a false wall. And so I'm gaining my 2 feet back, and I'm going to do a platform that's going to be in the second row. The equipment's going in the garage in its own room, climate controlled room with a mini split. And I'm going to have 2 big racks where I can walk all the way around the racks. I mean, I won't have to move them. And that's probably going to happen fall, winter, spring this year. So I may take the theater down and do all that. And I got to redo the platform because David said he don't think my platform's going to be able to handle it. But I had already been thinking about, because I went to Frankie's house and I seen how he done his, where I've got it raised off the floor. I'm actually going to set the speakers and the subs on the floor, and then have a little false wall that I can pull down that's acoustic, transparent, right up under the screen. So I mean, I don't know. It's always something to do.
Yeah. No, you're going to build your third theater setup before I build my first. So, hey guys, speaking of that, if you, I mean, some really, really good videos on how Chris went about building his theater. You go back to, I mean, I really enjoyed. I know you probably didn't enjoy it, but I really enjoyed watching your first, whole build. I literally binged that thing. He literally turned a sunroom into a theater at his old house, and I mean, it was a ton of work. It was a ton of work. So,
and it was done in like 5 weeks. I did the video with the time stamps on it, the date stamps. I have no idea how I've done it. To this day, I'm scratching my head.
Yeah,
because I didn't work on it.
My biggest thing is, how do you, like, when I'm working on something, I do not want to be working with a camera or pausing. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, I don't know, autistic or something, but like thinking about a camera or whatever. Once I start something, I'm nothing else exists. How do you do the filming?
and I'm the same way. So what I do is I do a bunch of work, and then I snap some photos or take a little short video, and then I'll do some more. But I can't it's hard for me to set a camera up and film me doing stuff. Now, some of my videos I've done time lapse stuff, but most of it I just take photos and short videos when I'm done. All right, well, this is what I got done today. And some of those early videos.
So these guys. Look, guys, he's only got 157 views on some of these videos. He needs some love here, but they're very good videos. I mean, it's very raw and uncut, which is great. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah, that's my first YouTube videos. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, not a clue. And Youth Man got on and kind of give me some pointers. I think Shane Lee actually, give me a few pointers on how to shoot videos and stuff. I was shooting in portrait mode. It's like, you might want to do landscape better, turn it to the side. I didn't know. I didn't have no idea. But
yeah, man, this is, I mean, go back. You can see the videos aren't super long. So that like I said, I binge watched all these in like 1 or 2 days. And then I was jonesing for more once he got everything done. And then, once he got like this screen over here done, then he went ahead and kept upgrading too. So
yeah. Now that room was massive. Now I know I've seen other theaters, but that room started out, which was an odd size. It was 27 foot long, like almost 16 feet wide with 10.5 foot ceilings. So I took 3 foot off the front. So it ended up being 24 foot long, 15.5 foot wide, and then still had the 10.5 foot ceilings. So it was a very large room. And actually I could have did 3 rows of chairs. I could have made the platform with another step up. But I didn't. I should have, because I was still, even on the front row, I was still like 15 feet away from the screen. So, I mean, I could have done another row and been closer. Yeah. Which in my theater here, I think I'm 13, 14 feet away from the screen.
Yeah, I was super impressed with your craftsmanship. So, like I said, guys, he's got 4 years worth of videos on here. So, go back through some of these older videos if you got time and check them out. So he definitely does a good job. So what else do you got going on? I know you got, I'm sorry, I'm making everybody dizzy scrolling this thing up like this. Did you go to Audio Advice this year?
I did not.
No. Yeah.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah, I couldn't make it there either. It's and I know some other people were asking about CD. Ike, did you book your hotel?
No, but I think I'll still try to make it.
If you see Ike on the street corner, just throw some change in his little suitcase.
Dude, I was looking at those hotel prices. I was like, golly.
Is it the ticket prices or the plane?
Denver.
The hotel.
The hotel prices.
The hotel prices are not.
Gotcha.
I'm about to go to Giles and sleep in his garage or something.
Where is
It's downtown
Denver.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. You're not far from there. Yeah.
I know people. People.
You know a couple people.
Yeah.
You can go there and shoot for us.
Yeah.
I know, right?
For the Home Theater Hub.
Yeah.
I want to go. Unfortunately, my son's starting kindergarten. My wife's just starting a new job, so there's just too much stuff going on for me to just and then I have to I think I'm better suited if 3 days in my theater than going there to try to mud. I really want to catch
how much you would achieve in the home theater.
I really want to catch a football game this year in the theater. So that's.
Oh yeah, dude!
I've done that. That's pretty cool,
dude.
Man.
I'm telling you, that's where I watch all my games. I'm like, man,
this is the only place you would catch a football game.
No, that's not true.
In the home theater, on your phone.
I'm gonna have to buy one of those Apple things that wrap around your face. I forgot what they're called.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot
So.
what they're called too. That's how quick they came and went. Like people don't even remember what they're called.
Yeah, Fred, I'll be having a Super Bowl party, for when when it's done.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
I do. I mean, look, I'm going to get it functionable to where I still got my same 3 free. Yeah, exactly, C-Big. Exactly.
Super Bowl.
I gotta wait for the Ravens
He's
to
gonna
be able
host
to.
Super Bowl '98.
Boy.
I gotta wait for the Ravens to
Oh
be
yeah,
good
that
enough
might
to
be a
host the
while.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
okay. You got plenty of time.
Oh, boy.
Man.
Oh man, we're reaching.
Yeah, I
at
know.
this point.
Well, I guess 2028 is not too far. Anyways, time moves quickly, so
Absolutely. No. Yeah, so hopefully I'm going to get it to where it's functional. I may not have treatments up and stuff like that, but once I get it mudded, I mean, I think it'll fly by because I have a paint sprayer, so I'm just going to paint spray everything black, and then I'll be adding my color and stuff via fabric over top of the black. So
that's a good idea.
so it's it's not everything's just going to be black. So it'll start off a totally black room, which I'm not against, but I just don't want that. I do want a little bit of pop of color and decor in the room. So
I will never go full just the. I don't care if I had a Christie or whatever. It's like, dude, I don't want it. Even theaters are not full black.
Correct.
Like,
yeah. He said there's going to be robots on the field. All right, Fred.
Fred's probably more right than he is wrong, though.
We're going to be able to control them, remote control each player.
Yeah.
I'm going to own a player.
Yeah, it's going to be kids playing on their Xbox, and that's going to be the Super Bowl.
So, what else you got going on over there in the My Home Theater? I know you let's call it home theaters, right? I saw some videos that you got going on. What else is going on in My Home Theater?
Well, I posted, I can't remember what I was doing. I was doing something and I posted something in the living room talking about my theater in the living room and on a short, and somebody said, why hasn't this been on your channel more? So you know what that did? That motivated me to start upgrading in there. I upgraded the TV from the 65-inch Samsung Q6. It's now in here up above my head now in my bedroom. To the Hisense 75-inch A7. Now it's a cheap entry level 4K TV, Dolby Vision for like $529. But I'm telling you, I got it playing now, and I guess we'll look at it here in a little bit. The picture's phenomenal for the price. I can't complain. And so I bought a SYS racks, the same name brand that I have in my theater. Bought an 18U for the living room, so I got the stuff in the rack. Outlaw Audio sent me 3 of the 220 monoblocks. Yeah, I got 3 of those. That's running my LCR. I just bought the Panasonic 820. I was only doing 5 floor channel speakers. Now I'm doing 7. I added 2 more of the RTI 8s, so I have 4 identical tower speakers in the rear. And I got wires run on the floor. It's been, I mean, Don, you live in Florida. I don't know how the humidity is there, but here, ever since June, I mean, at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's already over 100 degrees as far as with heat index. And it's like 110, 112 every day. So I haven't been at the attic. I haven't been under the house. I've been in the house under the ceiling fan. So
understood.
So I'm waiting till it cools off, but before I can, run my cables and my wires and stuff. But living room is really coming along. I have height speakers right now on the wall in the front, on the rear wall in the back, but I have in ceiling speakers that I'm going to install.
Well, let's go ahead and transition over to that. Let's go ahead and take a tour. Something that we haven't done for quite a long time. But yeah, I'd love to see the home theater portion, the non dedicated room, the living room theater that you got going on there.
Gee,
All right,
that thing looks really good.
And that's funny because that is my theater.
Yep.
I know, right? I was like,
Still
that is a dedicated theater.
Yeah, it's dedicated, but I just dedicated.
With all the work you're putting in, that's a lot of
Look,
dedication.
the bottom line is most people out there, they don't have an extra room or they don't have a spare room that they can. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. So my mother-in-law, she lives in South Florida, and a lot of the houses down there, 1,500, 1,700 square feet, so there's not a lot of extra room when you have a family and stuff.
Oh, I gotta mute Chris.
All right, let me walk out of here because it's bleeding over.
Yep. Just highlight him, Ike.
Yeah, I will. I was just waiting for him to.
Okay.
Get that.
Look, he's got blue lights everywhere. Nice.
I got lights everywhere. Let me see if I can get some lights going on in here. I don't have much lights in the living room. So
We got blue lights. We got zebra rugs. Do you have a white rock out front?
I swear I can't. Let me see if I can. No, I can't. I can't get no more lights on. So that's it's blurry for some reason.
Yeah,
It's hard to see.
yeah, it's kind of
I think it's
blurry.
just
I'm
too
not
dark.
sure why that is.
I mean,
See if you can wipe your lens off on the front.
Wipe the lens
Yeah,
off
let's
or
try that
something.
again.
It's still blurry. It's looking almost
Still
like
blurry.
a connection. I don't think it's the lens.
Yeah, it might just be the Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah,
But we can get the gist of it. We got the outlines of it. It's starting to come in a little bit better.
That is a lot of sub bass. That's a lot of bass right there.
Well, and that's what people told me. They said that that's why I upgraded the TV to the 75 inch because the 65 inch they said the subs made the TV look like a iPad. So I had to upgrade. That's what they told me. So that was the driving factor to upgrade.
Man,
And
we have the worst community ever, man. iPad.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, that's only 85 inches.
Yeah.
Like,
and people tell me that this is overkill in the living room. No, it's not. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, let's see. I don't know if you can see. It's hard to see in there. So
maybe you don't want to walk downstairs to the theater.
I tell you what. Hold on.
You know?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me see if I got a light. Let me see if I can.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll switch back while he gets the light. But yeah, man, we got some of the worst people in the community, man. Like sometimes when I'm watching some videos and I'm just looking at those comments, man, I'm like, come on,
How about
man.
that? How about that? That better?
Go ahead.
Let me switch you back, Chris. Let's see. Boop. Yep.
That's
That's a lot better.
Still a little blurry.
A lot
I'm not
better.
sure why, but it's
That's fine. But
I don't know why it's
we
blurry.
can definitely see what you got going on there, though.
But that's the Panasonic, and it's got the Apple TV up above it, a couple of blanks, and then that's my Pioneer Elite. I don't know why it's blurry, but I've had that receiver forever. It's the LX504, 11.2. That thing's been solid, no issues.
Do you want to try?
And
Do you want to try to reconnect your phone, Chris?
I mean, I can.
Yeah,
Let me
just give it a try.
Maybe you need to sever your other connection. I'm wondering if the StreamYard will only allow so much from one IP address.
Nah. I mean, that's how we've been doing this. That's how we've been doing the shares, right? I think it looks better now. Let me.
Most of the
It's
time.
still blurry.
Yeah,
It's better.
it's fine.
Better.
It's better. It's fine.
That is better. Yeah.
And then you got the 3 Outlaws, and then you got that's for the subs. That's the PV amp.
Is that the Crown?
That's PV.
Oh,
It's
PV. Okay.
Yeah, the 7,500 watt. Supposed to be. And then of course the Chase Audios and the Polks.
I like the rack that you have now. What was the rack that you have?
The 19U, right? I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's 18 U's SYS.
That's
And it's
cool.
got fan in it.
Dude,
It's
that
got a
thing is
fan
worth.
in it, but I turned it off
It's
because it's loud.
$300. Wow.
Yeah, I paid $400 for it.
That's
For
not
that
bad. That's pretty good,
No.
man. I'm gonna have to write that down because yeah, I've looked at
Yeah, because
some. And I'm like,
I need a
man,
backup. I need a backup rack to like a secondary rack.
And then that's my surrounds. I got 4 of them.
Damn, bro.
They
You got
behind the couch. And then that's my blockbuster video wall here with all the.
jeez.
Yeah.
I am out of room. That's why I need a Kaleidescape. I am
Hey,
out of room. That's 3 racks. That's at least 2,400 movies, at least.
wow.
you need a
Holy
And the
Kaleidescape,
majority.
or you need Jack the Ripper to come help you rip something.
I mean, it's.
2,400
I mean,
movies. How much would that
that's
cost in the store? I don't even think. Yeah. I guess you could probably get away with the 92 terabyte. Yeah, you need the $30,000. So.
Yeah, the $90,000 total setup. Okay, so now we're out in the theater now.
Yeah.
There's the Marianas.
Yeah, I love these
Yeah, those
subs,
things,
guys.
man, those are
They are
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah. You know, it's a shame you're putting those in there
Behind,
because
right?
I know.
That
They
sh-
they deserve. They deserve.
you should
They
do the
deserve.
big subs in there and those out in the living room.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Yeah, for sure. Just for the looks alone. You know?
But that thing is that's my finger, and it's the whole width of my finger deep
oh,
Yeah.
wow.
to the sub.
So
So
that's at least 2 inches, 3,
2
2.5
or
inches.
3 inches. Yeah.
Yeah. So that definitely wouldn't. I don't. That if your driver were skirting that much, you might have a problem.
Yeah. I don't think I've done anything else in here. All the fabric on the walls. Oh, that's the new couch. It looks just like the one in the living room, except it's leather.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
But it sets a lot different. And I've got another one in the garage still in the box. Now, overlook my mess. That's my laptops and stuff for Mr. Brandon did my calibrations for me. I ain't never moved it. And I've been doing some testing and stuff. But yeah, that's the DIY boxes
The scars.
with the
Yeah.
Duratex and the scars.
Those turned out great, man.
And they shake the couch. I mean, now I know it's a combination of both, the Marianas and the scars, but I mean this is a concrete floor. And
you
it
did
actually
a
shakes.
40-minute video on building that cabinet too. So
Yeah, and I did some that's the video that I did the time lapse on.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
really
so I
hadn't
was
nothing
just looking
changed.
at your channel there. Yeah, because those cabinets they're pretty cool to build. I used to like Giles used to do a lot of that cabinet building on his channel too. It was great to watch.
Oh,
And
how
I think that got him up there because people like DIY,
Mhm.
and I think
Yeah.
that got him a lot of subscribers. Really,
How big
which
are
he's got
those
a good
mono
channel.
blocks? Those mono blocks you have in for review. How big are those
Yep.
things?
They are 3 inches tall
Oh.
by regular width, wide, and then I think 14, 15 inches deep. But they're only 3 inches tall, so 3 of them is about the same size as what like the Anthem is.
Oh, okay, nice. So it doesn't.
So
take
they're
up
only
a lot
one
of
U
rack
then.
space.
Yeah, pretty much. You got feet on them, so they might be a tad taller. But I think the overall width with the feet's only 3 inches.
Oh,
But
nice.
the only thing that's changed is, I got a JVC Super VHS VCR.
Oh yeah, there we go.
I added that just for fun, just to see what it would look like. Honestly,
Heck yeah. Get to go back and actually compare. This is what it used to look
because
like.
I've got the original Star Wars on VHS, and that's what I put in here. That's the only thing I got.
I'd be scared the tape would break.
Yeah, and actually, a boy had give me a VCR that I worked with, and it come home and it eat the tape. It didn't break it, but
Ooh.
it ate it, and I was upset.
You know, you can fix it. I used to have to fix those, but yeah, it is kind of
Yeah.
annoying. Yeah, but yeah, you lose frames obviously, but sometimes you don't. You'd be surprised how, you know, you like cut off like 3 inches and don't even see a blip. You're like, wait, what? It rolls a lot. That's why it's so much tape in a movie because it takes like a foot or so for like a frame, or I forget what it is. It's like a couple inches or an inch or two for a frame. But
So, Chris, I got to ask you because I'm going to be doing fabric, not floor to ceiling across my room. My room is
Right.
gonna be right at 17 wide by 21 and a half deep. So, and with 9-foot ceilings. If you don't mind me asking, I know what did you used a fabric make track, right? And then
Yep.
what fabric did you use?
It is the DMD fabric.
The DMD fabric,
Is what it's called.
and just
Yeah.
ballpark, what did it cost you to do the whole room?
Okay, so because I didn't know what I was doing, just to be honest, I bought too much fabric tracks. So I'm going to redo some of this stuff. All right, if you see here, there's actually 2 fabric tracks together.
Right.
I could have got by with one and put the fabric in with the other one, and I didn't realize that I could do that.
Okay.
So it would actually hide this gap. You wouldn't see this gap. It's going to be a lot cleaner finish when I redo it. And I've only got to redo, I'm looking now, only got to redo a couple of seams because I'm going to take down the velvet here. So that'll, of course, be redone. So I only got to
Okay.
redo this one seam here, and I'm trying not to pan so fast. The one seam over here.
Okay.
So it's not
So you
too
had
bad. And
you had 2 extra tracks in there, right?
actually,
Or
let's see,
one for every seam.
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4 extra tracks, which is only $40, honestly.
Okay.
So I could have saved $40, but what I ended up spending, kind of ballpark, was probably around $1,000, which is
Okay.
not bad. It's really
yeah,
not bad,
oh no, that's
and it
not
might be,
and
and it
I
might
like
be, and
the
it might,
things actually because I mean,
Yeah, and see, I want to make my seams a little bit more pronounced, kind of just like that. They have the fabric track that has like the 45-degree bevel, so that
yeah,
you actually can wrap the fabric and it makes that seam a little bit more pronounced. And that's
right.
exactly what I want. So I really like that look that you have there. You know, to where
Now
you see.
actually bought a flexible track because I was going to try to do a circle around that, but you couldn't bend it that short of a radius. So,
Right.
but I'm not even going to try to fix that because that wall is going to be tore down at some point. So
And I
I'm
guess
not
you're
even
gonna
worried about that.
you don't have do you have your projector just sitting on top of the rack there?
I did. No, it's not on the rack. I actually built a platform.
Okay.
I framed everything out. So actually, it's built like a closet, and then the projector sits up on top of it. So when I tear it down, I'm going to have to build a hush box, which is my plan.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm rethinking my design for my theater, for my box also, for my theater, my projector box also. The problem is mine is like literally like suspended from the ceiling, but with 2x4s, and it's not going anywhere. I have a picture of
Right.
myself hanging from it, and
Oh man.
I go about 230, 235.
Mm.
So I wanted to make sure that $15,000 projector wasn't going anywhere. So
I guarantee you. And I want to upgrade mine at some point, but I mean, I got so much other stuff to do. I mean, I ain't no way I can do it. I want to get a JVC is what I want. Don't know which
yeah.
one, but that's what I want.
Hey man, look at the used market. I mean, there's a
I
lot of
have.
nice projectors that are coming off on the used market. I'll be selling mine eventually here because I want to get the latest and Z900. So, being that I'm a dealer for them, I feel that I should have the the better projector or the latest projector in the
Right.
showroom once it's done. So I'll be offering a decent price on that, probably what I was able to pay for it as a dealer. So
Right.
I'll probably be offering a price on the NZ8, and then upgrade for it. So because it is a demo unit, it's probably only got 2 hours on it right now. But I mean, by the time I'm done doing that, it's going to be a while. It'll probably be after Christmas before or beginning of next year before I do that. So.
The NZX100 will be out.
the JVC video wall instead.
What do y'all guys think about those video walls with the the LCD panels and stuff? What do y'all think about it? I've seen them, but what do you think about
Seen them, and I mean, I've seen it once, right? And man, it's impressive, man.
Yeah, the thing I worry about more, I'm more of a sound person than a video person.
Yeah.
So I just want the sound to come from behind
Right.
the screen.
That's
So until I mean, I guess if I had a trim off, it could map it in front of the screen. You know what I mean? But I'd have to see how that actually worked. And at some point in time, it's too bright, right? Ike and I were in the your camera's actually clearing up and stuff now, so it's actually looking really
Okay.
good right now.
Yeah.
But when we were in the Ascendo room at M-Wave, I mean that Christie projector, when the white flash came on, I mean Ike was like hiding his eyes. It was bright. At some point, it's just you're talking 10,000 nits, or 5,000 nits. It's just bright, So,
Yep.
it's at some point in my eyes, it may be too bright. Now, the black levels, if they can get the black levels to OLED black on those walls, then yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and also I don't know how the heat dissipation is, right? That's also another.
the camera's nice and clean now, man. Looks good.
yeah. I
yeah.
just realized what was wrong. I was on 5G and not on Wi-Fi, so
Ah.
now it looks
Oh,
good. I just happened to
that
look up and see no Wi-Fi. I was like, what?
You want to go back to your living room and just pan around,
Yeah,
just so
yeah,
the
we
guy.
can. I wanted to
Just
Oh,
show
look at
you
that
some.
zebra wood, man. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, that thing is
yeah,
beautiful.
those
man.
things are amazing. Yeah.
They're beautiful.
And I mean, and the pictures don't do them justice. I mean, they're just absolutely gorgeous.
And stair
Real
integrity,
real
they
wood.
have
I mean,
those
that's a
woofers
real
look
wood
great.
veneer.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Oh, I love the
legit.
carbon fiber. I mean, look, we're
Look,
even
your
getting
reflection is
reflections.
in the damn carbon fiber, man. We can literally see you. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine when the 24s get here because they're gonna be carbon fiber.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Amazing.
I'm going
And
to talk to them because I'm going to build my riser too. So I'm going to talk to him about maybe sectioning a piece of my riser off, as far as how they would build. How I'm going to get in touch with David and see how he would go about sectioning off part of my riser so I can have some near field going right into the back of my couch, because I got a couch that's going to go to the front. It's going to be my front position. So I'd love to have like some 15s or some 12s right in the back of the couch.
Yeah.
I would just do it on the bottom of it, like underneath, where the great thing that they were showing you, they have those inset boxes that.
But the couch is going to be on the floor, so it'll be on the tile floor.
See what
So
you're
if I
saying.
could fire them directly into the back, here we go. All right, now we got. All right, so we got the poke center.
So look at the. I mean, this is Godzilla -1. You don't think they'll flag it or anything, do you?
As long as you keep moving it
No
away.
sound, so no
Huh?
audio.
No audio.
Nope, no audio.
Yeah.
Well, I got it turned down anyway, so I mean, I could
I don't know how
literally
some
take
of
the
these people
house.
get away with it. Like,
I
I
don't
know,
either.
I
I
know,
think I think you can play under 7 seconds or 8 seconds.
I know Shane
But
Lee always pans up. Jordan's starting to do some stuff to where
Yeah.
he's able to pan up and stuff. So I'd like to talk to them privately about how they're doing that. So
Hey, I can't tell you how many times I've had to redo my videos because they copyright.
yeah,
yeah,
I
And
think you got
I
to
don't know.
play under a specific amount of
And
seconds.
and I know I see Jordan doing stuff like this right here from the
right.
side and part of the screen off or down like this.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll find out if we get a. I'm not monetized, so we'll find out if we get a copyright strike.
I know.
But my thing is, look how clear this is. This is streaming now. This is not a disc. This is streaming off of Apple TV,
Yeah.
and that's a cheap TV. It
Yeah,
is
it
a
does look
cheap
great.
TV.
Hisense makes some good TVs, man. I mean, they really
Yep.
do.
I
Them
just
and-
put one in my daughter's room that I've had since probably 2017. It's a 43 inch, and when I moved my TV out of here into my room, and I had a Q60 in my room, so I moved it to my son's room. So now my daughter's got the 43 inch house, and I went in there and we hooked it up and put it on the wall, and that thing looks phenomenal. And it's like 2017.
So you got the 820 there, the Apple
That's the
TV.
820. Apple
Then
TV. Got a couple blanks there, and then the Pioneer. It's got the IMAX enhanced.
that's a newer Pioneer with the IMAX enhanced too, right?
Well, it's
It's the LX504, right?
2020.
Not the
Yeah, it's the
503. Yeah.
504. Yeah, I think it's maybe the 2020. I think.
Yeah, I
So
had the
there.
Now,
503 and that
Chris,
was
were you able to
trash.
play? Were you able to play? I know you had that in your theater previously. Were you able to play IMAX enhanced in there?
Yeah, I have some movies that are IMAX enhanced. Yeah,
Okay,
just
and
just not Disney Plus.
right,
Just not Disney Plus. Uh,
and then you have the currently you have the 90, right?
the AVM 90. Yeah,
Yeah. So
I'm
that
looking
also
for.
has IMAX enhanced too, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, here's
So
Bad Boys for Life. See, I don't know if you can see. Can you see that?
Yep.
yep, IMAX
Yes,
enhanced.
yeah, that's IMAX enhanced. So they are a few movies that have that. Now they announced a bunch of movies like Venom and Spider-Man, and they never came out, which I
So,
hate that.
so Chris, quick, do you have those
Yep.
movies arranged alphabetically? Like, how do you know where a movie is when you're looking for
Yeah,
it?
he just went there and picked it like super
Yeah, I
quick.
know. That's what I
Okay.
was like, dude. How do
Uh,
you even know? Because I'll be there looking for that
all
thing
right.
for 2 days.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can do something here. Let me turn my lights. I got these blue lights in the ceiling. I'm gonna turn
Yeah.
them white.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn them white. Nope, not that. I'm gonna turn them white. All right, so here we go. There we go. Basically, um, they're by, I guess. Let me see if I can explain this. This whole top row right here. This whole top row, all the way down to there, is Marvel. And then the second row here is like post-apocalyptic movies. Like I got Aliens, that's sci-fi and post-apocalyptic. Bloodsport, Divergent. Here's the Mad Max, Total Recall. Terminator, Transformers, so forth and so on. And then this line is DC. So you got your Supermans, all these, all the way down to about here.
Yeah,
And
you got
then you
like you
got
got
some.
like 10 copies of Wonder Woman, man.
I got. All right, so that's the original.
That's all I saw with your pad. That's a Wonder Woman, Wonder
That's
Woman,
the sti-
Wonder
that's the,
Woman.
that's the Blu-ray Steelbook. That's the 4K, which I didn't like these, and I got like two of each. Now I'm gonna tell you what I got a lot of. So here's John Wick. John Wick spans
Golly.
from here all the way over here and up here. So I got the
And there's only 4
Steelbook.
John Wick movies.
There's only 4 John Wick movies. So I've got never been open the Steelbook from Best Buy. You know, I got the
Hey man,
Blu-ray
they're
John Wick.
collectibles. Yeah, I
Yeah.
look. I got the Top Gun Maverick still steel book
Oh, I do too.
and the
Oh,
still wrapped
you got
up
all the
too.
Game of Thrones, huh?
Yep.
Hey, all right. So I bought this one. I never saw Game of Thrones before, and it was on sale. I think I paid like $128 for it, which was a good deal. So I was doing some reviews at the beginning of the year on doing some unboxings of, I mean, you know, see, I got some laser discs up there. That's the definitive collection, the special editions. I mean, I got stuff that's, you know, there's the Top Gun Maverick Steelbook box set with all kinds
Oh,
of
that's
goodies in it.
nice.
So I was doing a lot of unboxings, and I mentioned this Game of Thrones. I said, I really want, because it's out of print. They want like $400, $500, $600 for it. And I mentioned it on the channel. I said, "Hey, I want to get the Game of Thrones, but you know, I'm not willing to pay the price." I said, "But it's on my radar." The next day, I got an email from one of my subscribers, and he said, "Hey, man," he said, "Listen, I bought a couple of copies of these things. I got one sitting in the closet. Send me your address. I'm gonna send it to you."
Oh wow.
Nice.
One
Two
of my
days, and he said
subscribers,
he wants.
I need one too. If you got one,
and
just
he wanted to remain anonymous. When I went out there when I went outside to get the package, there was no label on it. The UPS dropped it off and pulled the label off.
oh
So
wow.
I have no idea. I have no idea. He said, "I don't want a pat on the back. I don't want to be known." Just a great guy, and I
That's
love that
awesome.
box set.
Yeah, I have the same
And
one.
I
I've
see
got
you got
I bought
House
the
of
Harry.
Dragon too. Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm waiting on season 2. Now, see, I've got the regular version here. And then I bought the steel book that I didn't have to open it, so it's still packed up. I
Yeah.
did get the Harry Potter around Christmas because they had it on sale. The good steel book with the steel case. I got the Twilight. I mean, I got all the Moon
What
Knights
about
and
horror? I don't see any horror yet. Are you a horror fan?
yeah, that's the section right here. This is where it starts. Like, well, I don't consider this really horror, like Mary Sheldon's Frankenstein, I Frankenstein, Army of Darkness,
Yep.
From Dusk Till Dawn, World War Z, Zombieland, you know, Evil Dead. Now everybody says they want this one, this Blu-ray Steelbook of Evil Dead. uh Everybody says it's worth some money or something. I don't know, it's a Walmart find for $5.
Oh wow.
Land of the Dead, there's the Last of Us. I love that series, by the way, The Last of Us.
Yeah, I have it on Kaleidescape. I haven't watched it yet.
Um, so you got the Twilights, Dracula, the Last Voyage of the Demeter. If you don't have that, I tell
The
you, that's
sound in that is crazy.
it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
one of the best sounds out there. I mean, it's good. Lost Boys, I still
I
haven't
haven't
even opened it
seen
up.
that one. I need to get
They
it
had that in
then.
the demo. They had that they played that in the Grimani room.
What is it called? The last what?
The Last
The
Voyage of
last
the Demeter.
yeah.
The lost.
Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh,
And
okay.
you got the Underworlds, Resident Evil. Then you get down here to, I guess you consider horror. There's Friday the 13th, Halloween, Scream, Misery, The Invisible Man, Hollow Man. I did get the steelbook from Walmart, Hollow Man. It,
Gremlin.
Gremlins, Donnie Darko, The Blair Witch Project, which is a
Did you for
steelbook.
Donnie Darko? Did you get the remake disc for that pack? You know, one of those
Uh,
discs were faulty.
I don't know. I played it. Which disc was it? Because I played them, and
I don't remember, but I never took the time to get it either. But they were doing a replacement because something was wrong with the disc.
Yeah.
so I
Yep.
played this one with no issues. That's the 4K. Now I
Yeah,
didn't play this one. No, that's the
yeah,
4K. What is
yeah.
this? Oh,
One
both
of
of them's
them, one
4K.
of them, they one of the disc was messed up, and they
Huh.
actually gave a
Serial
free
number
replacement.
recall on it, I
Huh.
believe. You
Yep.
can look at
I need to check it out because I've only played one of them. American Wolf in London, Red Dragon. I mean, Megan. That's a creepy movie. Megan.
I was
Yeah.
That
wondering
one.
about that. I was thinking about that one because
That's
it
a
looks pretty
creepy movie.
wow.
And then Halo, which they just canceled it. That's the second season still booked, and I got the first season. But guess who's interested in buying Halo? Christopher Nolan.
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
Yep. So I don't know. So I don't know if he's going to do a series out of it or is he going to do a movie out of it. Regardless, he loves Halo. I think they played it
Oh,
on
I
the
love
set when they
Halo
were
too.
filming. When they were filming like
You're gonna be
Interstellar.
watching Halo in 5.1 or something, man.
Counter Strike and Halo were my games. That's a great movie.
The Strangers.
I haven't even. I ain't even opened it yet.
Oh, that's the
But
newer
I've
one.
got.
That's
Yeah.
the new Strangers. Yeah, the
Right.
original
That's not the
Strangers
old one.
is awesome. Have you seen the older one, Chris?
I haven't. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, the older one's great for like sound effects and stuff. I literally was freaked out. I watched that movie by myself in the dark with on like a 7.1 system. I was freaked out.
Oh, well, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah,
Because I was about to put it in my Amazon cart, but I ain't doing that.
put it in there,
And then
man.
Hell
Man
no.
up.
No. Nope.
And then I bought all the
Snipe,
Mission
snipe.
Impossibles because I like these steel
There's
books.
no man up for me.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
you got quite the collection there. Just get back up as far as you can so we can take a look at that wall, Chris.
Let me see.
Man, that is
crazy, man.
that's like Blockbuster there, you know?
Yeah, that's what my sister says when she comes to visit. She said every time I walk in, I think it's Blockbusters. That's 3 shelves. That's 1 shelf, 2 shelves, and 3 shelves, and they hold 860 something per shelf, I think. Now there's steel books in there, so
Right, a little
it
bit
might be
wider,
it might be
and then your
yeah, it might be a
collectorship.
little less.
Yeah.
It might be a little less than 2,400, but it's still a lot of movies.
Yeah. Ton of movies.
So that's why I
And,
got.
and, and they're expensive too, man, because I when I first started ripping, so those of you that know John Anthony, he's been on the channel several times. I used to be a one and done type of person. And then I started talking to him, and then we started collecting movies. And man, I was going to Best Buy, dropping 200 here, 200 there.
Oh, wow.
It gets expensive. You're talking about, you buy 10 movies, it's $200. So
Yeah.
it gets expensive fast. So I had to
went to
wind up.
Walmart.
I had to wind up cutting back and wait until Black Friday. Actually, there was one sale that I probably bought $500 worth of movies on, but it was like from Target. They had a buy 2 get 1 free, so I wound up getting a ton of movies that way.
And
Yeah,
one thing that I've done, these Arrow box sets, which I love, by the way, they come with posters. So I have framed the posters.
Oh, nice. That's a cheap
I
way to get
framed them.
posters, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's Donnie Darko.
Oh,
There's
nice.
Legend. That's the
That's a
original.
great
Dune.
idea.
Man, where'd you get those
And-
frames
and
from, man? I've been looking to
I
buy
was fixing-
frames, man.
Walmart for $6.72. There's
$6?
Waterworks. Yeah, $6-7. There's what is that? That's Robin Hood, the Last Emperor, the Last Starfighter, and then I got the 2 Conans in the bedroom in there.
Yeah, I got the Last Starfighter a couple months ago, and I watched that. Man, that talk about nostalgia. I love that.
Oh, that was my movie growing up.
Yeah, yeah, I love that movie, man.
So show us what you got working for Heights there. You got Heights and
Yeah, it's the RTI A1s Polk Audio,
okay.
and in the front, and then in the rear, sitting over top of
Over
the
top of all
cabinet
the
there.
movies. Yep.
Yeah, but I got in ceiling speakers, not Polk Audios. I bought some. I don't remember what they were now. Somebody told me don't use them.
Which
OSD.
one?
OSD.
OSDs?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
I had some
I'm
OSDs.
actually replacing my OSDs right now. I
They
got the same
were
one you got, Chris.
I tell you,
the
a good affordable overhead that I heard at M Wave on two. It might have been two or three different theaters. Was those RSLs?
I
Some of
think
those
I
guys.
think
Some of
somebody was
those
telling me
guys,
about those.
yeah, those RSLs, they sounded great. I mean,
I actually
uh,
have. That's what I'm replacing my heights with. I actually have two of them. You know, I have 6 heights, so I
yeah.
have 4 OSDs, and I bought two of the RSLs.
So you got near
And
field on top of the
Yeah,
the chase audio.
that's
yeah, I
crazy, man.
forgot to. Yeah, like I need two tens behind the couch with 418s up front.
That's just to keep you in the chair so that the 18s don't blow you over. You got to have something pushing back.
I mean, the dedicated theater really rocks, but this living room ain't no slouch. I can tell you, it sounds good.
That's awesome. And you ran calibration in there too. Did Brandon do calibration for you in there or no?
No, I don't have a mini DSP in here. That's another $300-400 now. They went up. So I just used the MCCA
My cock.
thing and just yeah, whatever it's called. I
That
did
thing
it
is
myself.
horrible, man.
It is. It is. I know the newer ones have the Dirac, which would be a little bit better. But I mean, for what it is, and for the living room, and then it's open to the kitchen. All that's open. I think it sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, I could.
I had the VSX 503, the Pioneers. Yeah, I just nah, man. It was difficult to work with.
Yeah. But and this is what I do with. Well, I don't do it now. Brandon does all my stuff, and I don't have to touch it. But when I do something like this Pioneer, I let it run its course, and then I go in there and check it, and then I make adjustments as I need it. Because that's I mean. I feel like that's what you have to do with this old stuff like this. Is you have to go in there, go behind it, and check it. Basically doing a manual calibration, but it's already done its own. But for what it is, for being, just the open living room, I mean, I'm okay with it. It don't need to be perfect, in my opinion. Not like the theater, you want the
Right.
theater perfect, but the living room setup, man, I'm good. I'm good.
So do you find yourself like watching something in there and be like, all right, I need to take it to the theater?
I have done that. But here recently, it's just easy to come in here and just sit down on the couch. Time I walk in the door and just turn this on and watch in here. And then sometimes I say, I'm going in the theater, but I've spent a lot more time in here in recent days
Right.
because it's been slow with stuff coming in. Now once the 24s get here, I'm gonna be out there in the theater doing videos and rewatching stuff because I did that for a while with the 18s because it changes everything. Things that you thought sounded good before sound 10 times better now
Oh yeah.
because of the bass and because when Brandon recalibrated my theater, it had been so long because I had did the fabric on the walls, I added the 18s, I added the front wide. So I mean, it was out of calibration. I guess you could say it sounded good, but once
So
he got done with it,
what with the size subs that you're running, you had those two chase audios and then you had the JBLs in the back, or you had something else prior to the JBLs too.
glitch.
What type of sound treatment are you doing for bass in your theater?
I don't have any kind of diffusion or bass traps or anything like that.
Hmm.
I'm just using the fabric on the walls. It's doing some kind of stuff, and then I've got all the sound panels, sound absorption panels. So basically,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
all I'm using right now. And then the carpet's
it's
helping,
hard to stop a
triple.
50-foot wave anyway, but
Yeah.
but,
Now I want.
so-
Now I want to do some stuff on the ceiling, and I probably will once I, redo the back and the front. And also, I was going to say earlier that I got them rugs out there. Once I redo the back and everything, I'm gonna pay somebody to come put me some dark carpet in, so I won't have to worry about the carpet.
Yeah.
So that'll be took care of. Because you got light carpet like I had, you turn that movie on, it lights up like a Christmas tree on the floor. It was I didn't understand it until I covered it up, but then I was like, whoa, wait a minute,
Yeah.
you know.
hmm
So
Yeah, definitely. And I've talked about that prior on the channel too. I had someone that purchased a Zapiti from me, and he purchased a new projector at the same time, and he was like, man, I don't like this projector. And I was telling him, dude, put some velvet, or put some something dark fabric on the ceiling, because it was just reflecting. He was liking the projector was a lot brighter than his older projector, and it was just
right,
projecting all over the place. And he's like, I don't like this. And then once he actually got the wife's okay to put the fabric, because he had a living room set up too. Once he
yeah.
got the okay to put that fabric on the ceiling, I mean, he was like, oh man, I really love this, projector. So it
And
makes a
see,
world of difference.
that's my problem in the theater, because my theater is so narrow and my screen goes from wall to wall. I mean, I
hmm
literally had to do some treatments. Frankie come over and we demoed some stuff, and I didn't have anything on the walls. It was just the I did a satin black on the walls, and he mentioned that everything looked good, but the reflections would bother him. And then I got to looking at it. I said, well, I've had velvet for a year, and the next day I started putting it up, and then somebody on my Instagram mentioned the fabric track. So I mean, it was a little bit of process to get started, but once I got started, I never looked back. I never looked back. Now I am going to replace the velvet with the DMD, because I like the look of the DMD, and the DMD absorbs just as good as the velvet, in my opinion.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
going to.
It's probably a little bit more, what do they call that? Acoustic, easier pass through, I can't think of the words now.
Yeah,
Transparent, acoustically
right.
transparent. So yeah, it's probably a little bit more than because
Well,
some of the velvet, if you don't actually test it, it's got a thicker backing to it, and it
right.
will.
That's thick. Well, that's
Yeah.
what I was going to say. It's that DMD is definitely easier to put up. That velvet, because I knew how wide the velvet was, so I cut my fabric mate tracks just a little bit narrower. And when I got done, I was pouring sweat trying to stretch that stuff. It don't stretch. It
Yeah.
don't stretch. And that DMD stretches, 3-4 inches or more. Just so much easier to work with. So
Yeah.
I am going to
I guess
replacing
if
that.
you stretch that too far, will you start to see light through it, or if you stretch that other fabric too far?
I haven't noticed any difference in the texture or how it looks. But I guess if you stretched it to its max, you may see a little bit of the knit. I don't think it's a weave. I think it may be a knit. You may see
Okay.
more of the knit than you would if it was more relaxed.
Yeah, because
So
I was looking at the Guilford of Maine. A lot of people recommend the Guilford of Maine, and then there's another couple other ones too. So I've not heard of the fabric that you've gotten. Uh,
yeah.
so I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at that.
Well, again, that's what the guy John on his friends went on Instagram. He actually, sent me the links, and I looked at it. I think it's like 12.99 a yard, and I kept messing up um, ordering what I need. I was ordering. I said, well, I just need, I need to do this panel, this panel, this panel. I need 6 yards or 9 yards, but my walls are 9.5 foot tall, so that half a foot would mess me up 2 panels down. I'd be short.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I
hmm
would order what I thought was just enough, and I would end up short. So I'd have to reorder again, and you got to pay shipping, so it's not free shipping,
Right,
which
right.
is fine. So yeah, it was a little bit in the miscalculations. I had to order so much and pay more shipping. So I mean, looking at it again, I mean, if I had to do it all over again, I could have got, I could have got done cheaper than what I did.
Yeah, but still, for what you put into it, I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, $1,000, it was a total transformation. I know it was
Yeah.
black before, but
Oh,
definitely total transformation.
it's definitely way better. I think it's the best money that I've ever spent in that room. To be honest with you, I think it done more than anything else I've ever done. I mean, that's speaker subs, everything. I mean, it changed the sound of the room, made it sound more like a theater.
Right.
So I highly recommend. And see, they make a type of backing to put on the wall behind that because it stands. I mean, you can get it different thicknesses, 3/8, ½ inch. I went with a 1/4 inch because of I needed my screen to be able to rise up and down, so I couldn't go too tall. But you can buy an actual like a backing to actual. You would make all your walls being absorption panels. But
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you'd want to do that because you don't want it to absorb too much.
Yeah,
But they
exactly.
do make a backing to go, behind the wall. So I guess you could pick, hey, I want to do this panel over here with absorption and this one over here and this one over here, and you wouldn't have to have any panels sticking off the walls like I do. I guess you could plan it out like that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it still may be a good idea to have some panels up. I'm
Yeah.
not all that I'm not all that good with figuring that part out.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of videos on Audioholics for that Germani was on. That he goes into depth on all the treatments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's very educational. So if you guys are looking to do your panels, but I mean honestly, I think the easiest thing to do is just reach out to GIC, right? Reach out to them because they give you a free consultation. They tell you what you
Yeah.
need everywhere.
Yep.
And they got some pretty cool. I've seen their panels. They got some pretty cool panels too. I like the way they look.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we definitely appreciate you giving us a tour of the living room theater. That's
Yeah.
quite some setup you got there. Two
Yeah.
15s, what you say, 2 10s in the back too?
It's got 2 10s and 4 18s in front.
4 18s in the front. Yeah, yeah. It's quite
And this living room ain't very big, but
Yep.
yeah. And like you said, that TV looks fantastic there.
yeah.
And,
I mean, I like.
really cool.
I mean, you can't beat it for the price. Now I don't know how long it's going to last, but so
Yeah,
far so
yeah.
good.
I mean, for $500, if it gets you 2 or
And
3
then
years,
and then
that's
and then I don't know if you've noticed, I bought the Go V lights to go behind it with the little camera up top, and
yep.
it's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate. And I mean, I like that for the living room. I like have you, my
The,
all the TVs and
that
things like
works
that.
really well. The only thing, they also sell the gaming sync box
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
works. The advantage of the sync box, which besides it being quicker, is when it goes true black or off, the lights actually go off. Where with the camera, they're never really off. So
Right.
you need
There's
the gamer the game. I forgot what they call it. It's a Gobi AI game sync box. That's what I have.
right.
And man,
Okay.
whenever things go like just dark or a dark scene, boom, all of the lights shut off, and then whenever it comes back on, and that's the only advantage. But yeah, I did the camera thing for on my projector actually, which isn't near as accurate.
And I got a demo of that. It was freaking amazing. I mean, he had not only does he have it, around his screen, but he's got LEDs off to the side on his sound panel, so everything is synced. His acoustic treatments, right?
Yeah.
So he's got the lights over there. So those lights are flashing the same color, as when it pans to the left or
Wow.
pans to the right. Yeah, that was a fantastic demo there, by the way.
Man,
I
like
really
that.
enjoyed that. There's a lot of people don't like the LEDs around the TV and stuff. I really enjoy it. I like it. I
I
think
do
it's
too.
pretty cool.
If you're doing where I think it's the most cool is like if you have that system like yours, Chris, do the I forgot the song. It's Coldplay Star song, whatever. You're a star or whatever, and I forgot what the name of the song is, but you're basically it's like you're in the stadium and it's all LED, the whole thing. It's a big production set.
Are you talking about the Imagine Dragons one?
No, it's a Coldplay song.
Coldplay?
Yeah,
I know the Imagine Dragons one has a lot of light flashes too that I see people use to kind of demo their lights around.
Yeah,
check that out.
it's Coldplay, A Sky Full of Stars. You watch that on that Govee, friggin' dude, I'm telling you, that's the scenario where you use these lights.
Gotcha.
Because you literally feel like you are in the stadium.
Wow. I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty damn cool. I'll just grab the link because it's if I want to show off the lights fully, I use stuff like this, which I don't even think I showed. I don't even think I showed Don that.
No, I thought you did the Imagine Dragons one though.
I might have, yeah, and I might have done the cold. I've done one of them, yeah, which is just as cool. But man, this one, it's because they literally. Okay, so the band technically is what they did is they had everybody have bracelets. That's kind of your ticket, right? And they were all synced to Wi-Fi, so all their bracelets are LED lights that lit up however they wanted to make the whole stadium light up.
That's cool.
That's in that scenario. If you watch it on, with a Govee camera, it's the opposite. Instead of it distracting, it makes you feel like you're more a part of it. You feel like you're there. Because of the lights, because your whole room is just lighting up and going. And like I said, with the thing where it goes like full dark, and that's the only advantage of the other, of the sync box, which is really freaking cool. It really does make a difference because whenever it gets dim, it's able to just shut off instead of just having because I know with the lights and the camera, you have to tell it, okay, here's my neutral or my zero, and it's usually it's got a little bit of light. There's nothing wrong with it. I would say if you don't have the extra $300 to spend on the sync box, then you're not going to have a lesser experience. But yeah, I mean, just being able to go full dark where it just shuts the lights completely off is just that extra 10%. That's just like, oh, okay, wow, okay, all right. If you have the extra funds, it's worth it for sure. But otherwise, I've done the full camera with on my 150-inch screen, And
that was a great demo. I really enjoyed that. The lights.
Chris, you can go back to your desk. Oh, I think he's doing that.
Yeah, he's coming back. Yeah,
I was coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to slip off of here. 3:30's coming early, but I may go in a little bit later.
Had a good time, man. Yeah,
I enjoyed it tonight, man.
I got bass envy already, just from the just from the wood. Although I am a little like, seriously, you're putting those behind the screen. I'm like,
yeah.
Like a
I
sin.
think I said that in my videos that these really deserve to be out seen because I mean they're just too beautiful to hide. But you know that's what he brought me, so I had to put them behind there.
Nice.
Yeah, like we definitely appreciate you coming on and showing your living room setup and a little bit of your other. I look forward to the upcoming videos of the deconstruction.
Yeah, oh, there'll be some
and,
on there. I promise you.
and I don't think watching any of those videos, I don't think I heard any F-bombs. I know building my theater, I've definitely dropped quite a few of those.
I do try to be PG or a rated G on my videos, but
Yep.
you know.
Yeah. Like I understand that 3:30 comes early, so you're welcome to stay and or you're welcome to jump off. But make sure you guys go over to My Home Theater and subscribe and check out some of his other videos. Chris, as you know, you have an open invitation whenever you want to just join the panel and sit down and talk. So.
I'll make it a point to try to get on here at least every week. Just maybe not for the whole time because I am working so much lately. But yeah, I enjoy being on here, man. I really do.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on. So
that's awesome. Yeah, appreciate it.
I'm going to go ahead and switch gears because I've been having thoughts about purchasing a NAS. Finally, just yeah, I got the
I'm ready to step out too. So
I got the the Strato V and all that stuff, but I'm thinking that I want to have backup for my backup, right? So all my movies are on external drives, right? That could be the backup just in case something does happen, right? So just thinking about that, and I was going through. See, I'm going to share this real quick. Let's see here. I was going through Newegg. I tend to shop them just to give them a shameless plug here, but going through Newegg and I wanted to get your opinion on these drives, Paul. So there's this. I want to try to get into it as cheap as I can because, look, I don't. It's not going to improve any of my experience, but it's just peace of mind.
What is that price point? Is that just for the drive?
So that's 8 drives.
Oh, okay, my bad. I didn't see the count. I was like,
eight refurbished drives.
I gotta clean my eyes, well, man.
Yeah, so like, I'm thinking about a
Kaleidescape drive.
Thinking about an 8 bay. Let me go specifically to that drive on here. See if it'll.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must be SSD at $1,500.
I know. I was like, man.
Yeah. So
that was just some Kaleidescape drive or something.
So here's the.
I think they're more expensive.
I mean, $188 for. Yeah, I understand that it is. It's refurbished, but it's $188 for 18 terabyte compared to the Western Digital, which is double the price. The red.
Yep.
So
that's exactly what one of my buddies has purchased. The refurbished Iron Wolf. The exact same ones. He's been running for the same amount of time since you started your theater, even though you say it's only been a year.
Don't say it's only been a year.
You know what the funny part is? I was like, I went to your YouTube channel and I was like, okay, I know he was talking about his Lindor processor. And I literally went to your own YouTube channel. I was like, that's when he started his theater bill. That was well over 3 years ago. And it's on your own channel, but you still are like, oh no, it's only been 2 years.
No, I don't say it's been 2 years. I say it's been a little over 3.
I was like, maybe your time lapse is since you changed rooms.
I have the picture of when I consider the fact that I consider construction actually starting when I knock the wall down.
Nah, see, that's bullshit. Because,
That,
dude,
that, that's when I started the theater. I didn't start building a theater prior
you
to
start
that.
the building, but you don't start building something until.
I mean, if that's the case, I've been planning a theater for what, 10 years now. So I mean,
10 years.
just doing research. If you want to talk about doing research for
Yeah.
products and
But
stuff like that.
It starts when you first spend money. That's when it actually starts. You can boilerplate, but if you buy a product, especially a $16,000 processor, that's when it starts, man. That and maybe some people will disagree, but
I had that. I had that processor the same time that I had a theater exactly like yours set up in my living room. I just chose not to use it. I used the Denon 6300 instead.
So you're doing a rebuild. But you never had the Lindorf in your. Well, maybe you did. Did you put that in your living room?
I never hooked it up prior to. I had it, but I never hooked it up.
Your new theater is, basically, hey, I'm going to build a dedicated theater.
Correct.
And that's why.
I took it down. I took my living room theater down, literally the day after Quiet Place 2 came out to give me motivation. I watched The Quiet Place 2.
Well, you needed motivation. See, most people are the opposite. Most people are like, man, I have a product. It needs to go in, and I need to start using it.
I agree with you 1,000%.
You are the most patient, and that's probably a good thing.
I'm not actually. It's just the fact that I just don't have time. Life events happen.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just like, man, there's no way I would have already sold that thing. I don't care. I would have been like, I've
considered it. I've talked to John Anthony several times. I'm like, man, I'm just going to sell my projector. I'm just going to sell this. I'm just going to, because.
Yeah. Because by the time you get done, it's going to be stuff you're going to want. I said, man, you're going to be upgrading your you've already upgraded your projector.
Not yet. I haven't upgraded it yet.
Oh, well, from the original one that you were talking about.
Yeah, I had one that I purchased used for like $500 for a long. Yeah.
And then you upgraded. Anyway. Yes, these are completely fine. The Iron Wolves are. Seagate had a bad name forever, and they were pieces of shit. I mean, they failed constantly. But if you buy this scenario and you do at least a RAID 5 of some sort, you'll lose one whole drive.
Right.
But yeah, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter at that point. And obviously in this scenario, if you buy it and it doesn't work, you know right off the bat, which you'll know, when you set it up, yeah, it'll work. There's nothing wrong with that. Once you get to 8 bass, like I've literally told people, it's like, just do like a JBOD, which is just putting a bunch of discs together, and the reason I say that is if you only have like a bunch of like maybe 4 terabyte hard drives, right? And it's like you want it to be on a network. And a lot of people, in IT especially, they're like, oh, that's stupid. You should always do RAID for backup. Dude, the next fucking motherfucker that says RAID or any form thereof is a backup, you need to be fired in your job. You're a fucking moron, straight up. That is not a backup. What all this RAID and, multi-redundant disks is for less downtime. Now, when you start getting into, 3 months of ripping disks or redoing disks that you own onto a drives, yes, that's when you're willing to eat 18 terabytes worth of storage, because that's $300 or $400. Well, okay, figure out, in this case, it's $200. Well, how much do you make? How many discs can you back up? And that's the point at which you just have a single drive or a RAID and you back up, re-back up, right? Because that's the reason you have the redundancy. Number one, if one disk fails, you're in an emergency basically, and you have a standby disc, and if you can, buy one standby disc so you can slop that in, and then you can order one, and it can come in 3 days, and you have another. Because what people don't realize is most of the time when discs start to go bad, the next one will go bad really shortly after that, then the next one, and you can always keep ordering. And obviously, minimum RAID 5, you can only have one disk that go bad. God forbid 2 disks go bad, then you still lose all your data, aka or a lightning strike that zaps the whole thing. It doesn't matter, right? That's why you still need backup. You have to have all of your data backed up separately on separate disks. That's the only form of backup. That is a backup preferably in another location.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking at too. I mean, these won't even be plugged in. They'll be in a box, in my closet. You know what
box
I mean?
Or a fire safe. Those things go in the fire safe. Where if flood happens, you're like, oh shoot, I have to buy the enclosure of my RAID again. And then you have all the discs. You had to buy new discs, obviously. You had to buy your new system. But all you do is plug it in, rebuild the RAID, and then you just take those drives, plug them into a USB or whatever, and say, okay, restore,
So
go back.
what's the difference between, because I also found this, it's a little bit of savings here. You got a 4-pack of 20 terabytes, right? You save, it's $1,400 for basically 80 terabytes. So what would you say would be the difference between the Western Digital versus the obviously the other ones were refurbished, right? The regular price for those was, let me see what the regular price for those. I think
Honestly,
$316. So
okay, so to the media aficionado, there is zero difference in any disc you buy. Go for the cheapest disc that you want to spend for as much space as you want. That's the short answer of it. The long answer is, in big data world, there's Western Digital is known and is, by proven historical fact, even by third parties, and the Seagates actually are catching up with them and are damn close. The failure rate is like, I forget what it is. It's like 0.23 versus 0.25% or whatever, something weird like that. And and that also considers, like, if it's a 5-year thing, it's like, okay, out of 5 years, 0.23 versus 0.25 fail, right? If they fail at all, right? So the Iron Wolves are really good, and Seagate's come back into the game. So in big data, you got to look at your cache size, and that only is whenever you start transferring all your data.
Yep.
Other devices, that's when that really comes in handy. Or mass consumption, like if you had 180 people watching a 4K movie, that's when that stuff starts coming into play. But for a single user that's got 10, 15 people on it, your old school 5200 hard drive will work if it would last long enough for you and if it had enough disk space. I would still tell people to get 5200 even, but they don't make them in the sizes to have the space that we need for nowadays media. So you can't
Right.
even get, because those are silent. Those are so much more quiet.
So,
Yeah.
and my purpose for this also is to play around with. I'm going to set up a Plex and stuff like that to play around with it too, just to see. Yeah, just to see and to be able to have, you know, remote capability on my phone and stuff like that, right? So that I can, you know, if I got my son at a restaurant or whatever, I can just pull up Plex and boom, he can watch while, you know,
or the new Minions and be like, hey, there you go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I mean, I can do that with Disney Plus now and Netflix, right? But I don't have my own I don't have my own library at that point. So, what would the cache be on this particular drive here? And
you would have to look at it. It's probably on Western. It's probably on Seagate's website, but it doesn't matter. It might even be the same that Iron Wolf.
Because the other one, the other one said it had 512.
Oh, 512? I thought it was 256. But yeah, the WD Pros may be 512.
Yeah.
512 is on the Western Digital.
That's what I have. Yeah, and it's. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I said, don't even look at that because
for our usage,
that's
it
big.
doesn't matter.
That's big. That's Google type of specs. Okay. Unless you're managing the same data that Google is, that's irrelevant to you.
Yeah, for our use case, it doesn't matter much. It's only in, you know, when you start going into enterprise environments where some of those numbers might matter, either for compliance
this one says
purposes,
256.
Especially if you're doing like a VM, like a VM environment, and you want to be able to cache back. You want to be able
to store random data quickly and all that.
You know, these types of specs matter in that. You're getting uber nerdy on that. You know, it's dude, for what we do, that doesn't matter.
For our use case, it doesn't matter. You know.
Yeah. For just watching 4K movies, or 5 of them, or 10 of them at once, doesn't matter. You will exceed your bandwidth at home before you. Well, you maybe not, because you know you have your 5.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at a 10 gig switch now too. It's fairly inexpensive for. What's that major brand that they have? I got it in my cart here. Let me see. Ubiquity, yeah. I'll share my screen here. $299 for 4 gig for 10
I've been
gig.
looking at that, man. I was like, oh man, I might have to actually upgrade my damn.
Yeah, $299. That's pretty good. I mean, I would like to find one that has so I can put it in my rack. I would like to have one that has about maybe 24 10 gig ports or even...
You would have to go to the Dream Machine, and then they have switches that you can get on. And dude, I will tell you this: you get the Dream Machine Ubiquity, and then you just go to Facebook Marketplace. People are selling those 10 gig switches all day long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they it's one of those things where corporations are like, oh, I need 48 or I need 50, or you know, they're going out.
Yeah, and the Dream Machine is like $300, right? No.
Hey, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta step away for a second.
So, Ike, you're also in the IT section too. So, I was looking at this for the R-Voution NAS, right, and to see what their capabilities is, right. So this says down at the bottom 8 times 32. So what is that? That's 2 16-inch. I mean, not 16-inch. That's 2 16s stacked on top of each other, right?
Yeah.
So that's a separate. Is that like a I didn't see anything like that on Newegg. So basically that would just be a 32 drive. Is that how, you know, I'm oblivious to some of this stuff when it comes to networking and stuff like that. So I'm hoping others too.
I mean, it's basically just a drive bay, and you put in 2 16 terabyte drives, and it's just reading it as a single. It's just reading it. That's basically what it's doing.
So it's 2 drives, but it's reading it as one.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so it's all yeah. That's basic. And what the R-Volution allows it to do is, for example, when you're using an R video, if you store information from, let's say, drive disk one, right, and then you do a swap, it still keeps all that. And let's say you try to watch a movie after you remove your first drive, right, and you replace it with your second drive, it will tell you to insert drive one, that the movie you're trying to watch is in drive one. So it actually knows what drives your movies are stored in. So if you insert all your drives, disk one, drive two, drive three, and you remove drive two, and you go to the R video, and you try to click on the movie to watch, it will give you a pop-up saying insert drive two in order to watch that movie. So it knows where it's stored.
So I guess my question is, because I don't know that. So it's saying that it can have eight bays of 32 terabytes. Is that how I'm reading that? Am I reading that correct?
Man, I'm trying to see how best to explain it. So that's what I'm saying, right? So it's basically just giving you the max numbers of the drives that you can have, right? So it can run up to 32, yes, terabytes of drive.
Right, because the player itself, one of the players. Let's go up here to their products and go
Yeah.
to
What
the
was
8K
the
player
original
one.
question? What was the original question? I'm sorry, I stepped
So
away.
the NOS, right? The R-Volution NOS. It shows down here, the sequence that you can put. You can put 20 terabytes. You can put 32 also, right? So, and the 8 bays that it has. So I know there was something, the player, that they talked about, that the drives kind of stack together. I have to go back and read that. There it is. 8K comes with an internal hard drive bay capable of hosting up to 32 terabytes of movies. So,
Okay,
but
32 terabytes of movies. That's cool. So that's what?
216-inch, I mean, not inch, but 216 terabytes.
Yeah, two 16 terabyte hard drives.
Right. So when I go here to the NOS, right? It also talks about the 32, and we're going to have Raphael on very shortly, so he'll probably be able to explain this too. But now I look at the NOS. The NOS has 8 bays, right?
Yeah.
Not so the 8 bays, and then this down here also says 8 times 32.
Yeah, so that's the maximum. 32 terabytes is the maximum drive you can hold, right? I think Seagate is probably one of the only ones that make those 32 terabyte drives.
Okay.
So you can do 16, you can do 20, and you can do up to 32 terabytes. But 32 terabytes are not in the open market for everyone, but it's built in. If you have access, I think Seagate actually has, and they're coming out actually a newer model in 2024, I believe. That yes, it's gonna be able to run it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the max. So you can go from the 16 terabytes all the way to max 32.
Yeah, I was just confused because I didn't see any 32 terabyte hard drives anywhere, so
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't know how it
usually
was.
they're usually enterprise drives. They're not they're not on the open market. But yes,
Okay.
they do exist. If you Seagate, I know Seagate is the one that
Well,
primarily.
let's see. Your average Blu-ray or whatever 4K is probably what 60. Probably.
See, I just put a link in the chat. You can pull that up. You see, there's the Mosaic 3 Plus. That So you can run up to 8 of those. That's the maximum that this particular NAS drive can process. But these are enterprise, you know, they're not always on the open market, but people have access to them. So you can see that's a 32 terabyte.
Okay. Yeah, I saw this Exos, the
Yeah.
Exos there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it can do up to 38. You can do up to 30, you can do up to 8 of those.
3,200 4Ks is a lot. That's that. Let's put it this way. I think that's just a few. There's not that many 4K discs that exist.
There is not. Correct.
That you would need that
Like,
drive.
Yeah, but they're just saying, hey, we can handle 32 bit, 32.
Correct.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it is. Because I was like, wait, well, first of all, there isn't even that many 4K discs, but it is. Hey, if you've, it's just an OS thing, whether or not they can handle.
Yeah, the chipset can handle that range.
I wonder what the price of that drive is.
And the thing is,
I don't even think you can buy them on the open market.
You do not want to look. You don't even want to look. I think
it's probably $1,200-$1,300 a piece.
Maybe more.
So at that point, would it be better to have one of these versus 2 18s? You know what I mean? I know you get a little bit more storage with the 2 18s, but do you go for one drive versus two?
No.
No, it's still the whole risk factor, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's what 1,600. Wait, no, it's way more than that.
Because if you depending on the okay, so the reason you go larger space is more of a commercial or a business reason, because floor space becomes a thing and power, right? But you also have to be able to afford, hey, I'm doing RAID 10, I've got redundancy upon redundancy. And again, the reason you do that is for zero downtime. If you are a company that makes, $1 off of every, web click, you don't want any downtime, because downtime means no money. So you are, you're running RAID higher than RAID 10. You're running you have redundancies upon redundancies upon redundancies. So you can just, hey, something failed. We're notified. We're going to go friggin' fix it. No one will even know anything broke, right? Versus, a backup. But the size is more of a smaller footprint, right? But you unless you've exceeded beyond a certain threshold, you could almost go with like 18 terabytes right now is kind of the sweet spot. When I started, they were $700 a piece.
Right.
800 terabytes. Now they're, $300. But for a consumer, you got to look at, okay, in the world, there's only 2,700, I think last time I looked, 4K movies, and that includes the remakes or extended cuts, and that's everything. I think in the U.S.
I think you're high on that number too, though.
Well, no, that includes like all of the every releases. Like if it had an extra like thing on it, yeah. I think in the U.S. original single movie releases, there's only like 1,200 or something like that.
Yeah. I think you're probably
like
close to 1,500, something like that.
Just original, like sure, there might be an extended cut, a director's cut, theatrical cut remix, a they might have one movie that has 4 different audio tracks on a 4K or 2 different or whatever. They do that. It's just it's fun, right? It's just a collector's thing. But right now there's only 1,200, so 1,200 movies. Give it a highball of 75 gigs. Well, you do the full 4K, right?
Right. I burned the full.
So okay, so
BDMV file.
Just do 80 gigs times the entire catalog right now. How many terabytes you need? And if you get a NAS or NAS, whatever you want to call it, you, depending on what you get, you can also expand it to an additional 8. Generally, ones that have 8 bays, you can add 8 more bays. So you go for you calculate for a consumer. You look. Oh, what's the price per terabyte? What's the cheapest with what I need? That's what you do. That's the answer. Because sometimes you get like an 18 terabyte. It's literally cheaper per terabyte than like a 10 or a 12 or a 14.
So I actually have 2 of the Seagates right here.
And there's higher failure rates on these 32 terabyte ones because there's multiple platters and there's multiple needles. If you've ever seen a hard drive, it's like you've got discs and you've got a bunch of magnetic needle like things or needles that are running in between there, right? Like here's the disc, right? And here's the needles, but you got to imagine there's a disc between each needle. Just like imagine like a record player, right? And it's sitting there reading it like this, like it's reading it like like a finger, right? It's like reading that disc, right? And there's tons of those needles, right? There's not just one. So each, there's like every platter has its own little needle that's like, and it's spinning. So the more physical stuff that you're adding, and that's why the failure rates go up. Like right now, they don't even know the failure rates on 20 terabyte hard drives. They do know them on 18 terabytes, right?
So I have a question about the recording because the Iron Wolf mentioned, well, both of them it mentioned conventional magnetic recording. So the Iron Wolf mentioned that, and then also the Western Digitals, the 20 terabyte, they say CMR, so it's the same thing. Is there a different type of recording that they're doing? I know obviously the SSD is different, but if is there a different type of recording, or more stable, or a less reliable than the magnetic recording?
So there's the CMR, which is the magnetic, and basically the recording doesn't overlap, right? It doesn't record above. And then there's, what's the other one? Is it SMR or something like that? It's SMR, which is like an older, the tracks can overlap on that. So the CMR is a newer technology, I would say. So that's all it does. It's just the way the drives record.
Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, that's the back end.
It's not overlapping. So
for the size that you're looking at,
okay. Yeah, so it's faster to read for the CMR. The SMR, because the data is overlapping, then it's slower to read because you can store more data, but you're creating overlaps.
You could do the new technology, the new petabyte discs, back up your whole.
Oh yeah.
I don't love my movies that much.
Hey, I cannot wait until that stuff becomes affordable, even if it's like a couple grand, right, for one.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what I'm buying now,
Then I could back up my entire NAS on one disc and be like, that's my backup. And I can be like, bam, backed up the whole damn thing, That's I can't wait for that to trickle down.
Because even the Iron Wolf
strike and the whole drive goes down.
Yeah.
So this is the question. Oh, by the way, I'm going to share this, Paul. So I pulled up my picture. This is when I actually, let me see if I can get out of the way. February, what does it say? No, June 18th, 2021. That's when actual construction started.
Yeah, no, I agree I agree with that. That construction, I agree with. But you literally bought equipment
Oh yeah, I was buying equipment in 2019.
way sooner than that. And that
Look,
literally,
man,
I was
I'm
like,
not rich. I gotta do
I
this in
think
stages.
Ron is saying, "Oh, I haven't been building my theater except whenever I actually started breaking ground." It's like, no, dude, that's
Look, what you build a house when you break ground.
That installation. That
You
installation
build
is
a house when you say, "Hey, I want 5 bedrooms" versus "I want 2 bedrooms," and you pay money, aka it's years after that. Once they break ground, dude, it's like 3 or 4 months for a house. You spend more time designing and picking out stuff, aka buying equipment, selecting your stuff. That's when the theater build started. Not, oh, I actually broke ground. No, dude, those guys are.
See, my definition is different than yours.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you count that, well, dude, I could sit there and collect, but I couldn't do that. If I had a Lindorf and a NZ9 sitting on the ship, I couldn't just let that collect dust.
I'm using that thing, man.
I'm using that day one. So yes. If you talk about just manual labor breaking ground, I agree. I was like, you know what? I think that's literally what he thinks. And no, I would take a poll. Who thinks that just because you're buying equipment first? Now I will give you, if you're just planning.
So I mean, if you think about it, you how long have you been in this hobby? So you've been building your theater for 20 years?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're talking
so
about
you've been building the theater that you're in right now for 20 years.
Yeah. I've been in the hobby for more than that. Yeah.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
I did, yeah. But I've been finished multiple times.
Well, you're never finished because you keep adding, so you're still building.
No, because I've been enjoying.
You can't have it both ways.
I've had an experience enjoying the content.
So, the house that you're in now, when did you start building your theater?
I was just about to make a joke saying the drywall in that living room is older than in that theater is older than my youngest daughter. And I started building that when I was on paternity leave, and she was born December of 2021. So,
but you're not. But you've been planning this for a long time, right?
No. I didn't. I did not say planning. I
started building was like February.
I
sound off in the chat. I want to hear in the chat. We got 15 people watching. When does your theater build actually start?
Here's the thing. You're right. People's journey's never done, right? But you can talk about it. It's like, hey, I want this, or I want that, I want this. Well, let me think. What all do I want, right? And for people on the cheaper spectrum, it's instant, right? It's like, oh, I want to build a theater. So you go, I want an 85-inch or I want a 95-inch OLED. Boom, you go buy it, you install it, boom, you're done. You've completed it. You have completed your theater build because you have watched it and experienced your build. Now,
oh boy,
sure, if you now I want Atmos, maybe that takes you a couple months, or but once you start spending money on it, dude, that's what could have you done with if you're not enjoying, first of all, if you're not enjoying it, why are you doing it in the first place? I mean, as far as like experiencing it, right? Like you don't, hey, I want to race.
He's enjoying the build, man.
And you know, some people
can a brother
that.
enjoy the build process?
You know, I will take what I said back. Yes, if you enjoy the process of
it's the longest foreplay ever. He's enjoying the build.
Yeah,
and at some point,
that's right.
he's going
that's
to
right. It's like, hey,
theater.
as soon as I stick it in, I want to explode. I want 4 hours of foreplay, and I'm 1 second of.
Like you're the one that brought the foreplay up,
No,
so you gotta stick around.
That was still G. The ball is about to go somewhere else. So, but
no, seriously. I enjoyed. I would say I enjoyed 90% of the equipment that I bought. The only thing that I did not enjoy was the processor and the newer projector that I have. Other than that, I've enjoyed all the other stuff in my living room theater that I had set up. And that was a decision by me to take it all down. Because look, I had a stack of, I can show you pictures of the stack of
so you've had a home theater. This is your second home theater build.
Correct.
That you started a long time.
I mean, look, I used some Martin Logan speaker boxes.
You could have taken down the surrounds. I get.
Yeah, I used some Martin Logan 60 XTI speaker boxes as speaker stands because I have an open concept like you.
To do his first theater build, and it's taken him, 10 years to build the second one.
Like I said, life happens. You don't have Ike has a 4-year-old running around.
It doesn't matter when you started.
Yeah, I know. I hear it.
I hear when you finish.
Ike's rebuilt his theater with a freaking rain. It rained in his theater. He's rebuilt it. He's swapped out everything, and he has a kid too. So I can't.
He does have a kid.
I can't comment on the kid thing, but I've raised 3 kids.
There's a big difference in there.
Not your kid. I think your kid's perfectly fine. The fact here's how I know. It's like because the kids take after their parent. The fact that the knobs were turned to 0 versus 11, man. Yeah, that kid needs to be bad. You always leave them at 11. You don't turn them down. You turn them all the way up, not all the way down.
Yes. I mean, I'm hoping to get it done, at least functionable, within the next couple months.
Well, then you're gonna have to do something else so I can poke at you, because then I'm gonna be like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, then we're gonna have to poke it when I'm gonna actually open up the business that I've been barely promoting for a while. So you can poke fun at that. So, but yeah, no, look, we appreciate everybody joining the stream, and maybe I have to make a topic about this for another show. When does your build actually start?
That is a good point. Yeah. When does it start? Does it start on the conception of the thought? Does it start when you buy your first piece of equipment, or does it start whenever, hey, full implementation, I'm ready, let's start physically building the theater? Or maybe it doesn't even start then. Maybe the room prep isn't the theater. Oh, that doesn't count as a theater. That's just building the house. Does it start when you start installing the equipment and powering it on?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different perceptions that you can take,
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's several people I see on the threads and stuff that actually have been building their theater longer than me. I think Chirpy, I know he had a theater prior to that, but his theater that he's in now, the one that we showed, I believe he was over 3 years also building that to where he's doing a lot more than me, right? He's digging basements out.
You're trying to compare
and putting sump pumps
build
and digging his own sump pump holes and everything else like that.
Storefront, bro. Like, wait, what? No, bro.
Yeah, no, like I said, he's definitely did a lot more than I did. But I mean, he also had a contractor do some of
Yeah.
that, dig it out and everything else like
Well,
that.
I guess the question is, okay, this is what I would ask. How long would you say it took you to build your theater if you had someone else build it and it took them 2 months to do all the construction? Would it be, whenever you just started installing your equipment, or whenever you actually bought your equipment and you were designing it?
So for me, it
You
doesn't.
have to tell the builder what to
The
build.
build itself doesn't have nothing to do with the equipment. That's in my eyes. To me, it starts with construction. So if I say I'm going to build something, the
design and how you're building it and what you're installing has nothing. So all floor plans and house plans and blueprints have zero monetary value.
I'm not saying they have zero monetary value. That portion I would call planning. I wouldn't call building.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to be semantic, building. Okay.
So that's just how I,
Okay, no, I get the semantics. I get your term. I get it. So how long have you been planning your theater?
Oh shit, I've been wanting a home theater for. This will be my first dedicated home theater. So I've been wanting a home theater, a dedicated room for a long time.
Okay. When was the first milestone of you actually taking the leap that it's going to happen?
That was on that date. For the dedicated room, that was on that date for this particular house. So June of 21. So
wow! You bought that new house whenever you were in the Hi-Fi Summit fairly at the same time then.
I bought the house in the end of 2000, literally the end of 2019, December 27th. We closed on the house.
Oh, cool.
And then COVID hit, and other stuff happened.
That's a little everything.
I'm recommending couples therapy for Don and Paul. This isn't an argument.
We love this. Like, we are.
Oh man.
We would be like, who's buying the next round? Although I don't
I've
know.
given this story before, but unfortunately there were some events that happened in my life that I had to take on another job, and so I'm working 2 jobs and try to make my wife's office. She opened up an office. She's a physician. She opened up her own office, and had to help her with that, plus do other stuff. So that stuff took a lot more precedence. And I've preached this from day one on this show and every other show I've been on. Family first, man. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube and everything else that unfortunately they put other stuff in front. And I'm not saying that, I hope this would never happen to me and my wife, that we would never get divorced. I mean, I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but, it's definitely not something that I strive for. So I try to make, do everything that I can do
excluding even the close knit family that we know, that, excluding even, the Daily Hi-Fi crew or any of that. Beyond that, if you watch a lot of YouTube channels and stuff, there's been several people that have been estranged because of their priorities. So right. Absolutely, you have to, no matter what, no matter how much.
My favorite saying: if you don't pay attention,
like me picks on you, like, dude, that's why Don, me and Don get along, because he knows I'm just.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But my favorite saying is,
I don't care.
You know what my favorite saying is? If you don't pay attention to her, somebody else will.
Yeah, that's right.
That's my favorite saying, right?
And my favorite saying is, "Hey, a ring don't plug no hole."
You're correct about that too.
That's correct about that too. you gotta keep mind in mind, right? But anyway,
You guys didn't know that you were going to get couples therapy on the
yeah,
home
I
theater,
know, man.
right?
That's why we love
I'm,
each
I'm
other,
sitting
man.
like the therapist, just like taking notes. Like,
Ike's over there, like, man, you guys would be fighting. No, man,
no,
we
it's
buy
not
each other
fighting. I'm
This is
just
beers.
far
like,
from fighting.
I'm
It's
like,
all
I'm
love
about
here.
to move you guys to the green room so you can continue this conversation.
No,
But I
listen,
think
Frankie, we need you on the show, brother. We heard you got a great theater. We need you on the show. We need to show off that theater that you got over there. And anybody else that would like to join the show, please send us an email to hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. We want to thank Chris for joining the channel. Thank everybody else for being in the chat and listening to our banter here for the last 20 minutes. So, Paul, thank you for the education. Paul and Ike, thank you for the education on the
Hey, I
on the hard
appreciate it.
drives. Because I really am thinking about going ahead and just getting the NAS. So
Any of that, yeah.
if you haven't subscribed to Ike's channel, Easy HD Tech, make sure you subscribe to that. Same thing for Horizon Home Theater. If you guys hadn't subscribed to my
I know
channel,
we
please.
can get people to subscribe to Horizon Home Theater. Maybe they're.
I actually had some people in the chat today, so I appreciate Richard and Mike
Okay, I
and,
was gonna say,
and
man,
Frankie
like,
and
aren't the same people watching? Like, I guess they're like, nah. Maybe they're trying to tell you, well, I'll subscribe when the theater's done.
That's all good, man. All good. Well, appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We have hit the what's that, 2.5 hour mark. So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and end the show now. But we do have some really good guests upcoming. I'm not going to say when because who knows that we're not going to jinx anything. But we do have some good guests upcoming. So make sure you tune in, subscribe to get those notifications. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a good night.
Later. Had a good one.